Hi guys, it's Nian again, and I am back with Game 4 of the best of 5 with Liquid TaeJa versus Liquid HerO in the ASUS Republic of Gamers tournament at Assembly 2012, well, Assembly Summer 2012. And we are on TSL4 ESV Cloud Kingdom, with TaeJa again in the blue as the Terran, up in the top right hand corner, and the red Protoss HerO in the bottom left. This map again has neutral supply depots, which is how it's different from Cloud Kingdom LE, which I believe is the ladder version of this map. And the pylon going down on 9 for HerO, and the depot going down on 10. TaeJa momentarily supply blocked, as is Liquid, but not for long, as this depot will soon complete. If we go into the production tab, that SCV is going to pop out and another one's going to start just as that depot's done, so perfect timing. Mind you, you wouldn't really expect anything other. So, scouting probe going to come into TaeJa's main, and just casually going to start up a barracks in the middle of nowhere, because why not? So that probe causing a little bit of trouble in the main. By the looks of it, it was, I think it was trying to attack her. No, none of those probes were actually damaged. So presumably it was just getting in the way, being a bit of a nuisance, that sort of thing. But now it's being chased out of town by the SCV. Got another probe coming. By the looks of it, it's going to check that there's no bunker or barracks behind there, because on the ladder version I've come up against quite a few Terrans who decided to put proxy 2 racks there, and have then gone on to lose because they forgot to build any racks in their main. So when I moved out and destroyed their proxy 2 racks, they didn't have anything to produce Marines with, or Marauders, because I was playing I quite often play Stalkers, so Marauders are a better bet. But SCV coming in, scouting, seeing the gateway and the cyber core. Gateway chrono boosted to get the zealot out as quickly as possible to stop the... Oh, it looks as though he was actually going to build a refinery there for a second, which is quite an annoying harassment play, because it means that the Protoss can't get any of its sort of higher level tech for a while, because for that you really need double gas to get it on the right timing. But the barracks has been moved up here to be safer, and command center going down as well. Got the wall in starting up to be completed. The wall in being completed, and that probe is going to scout up here, check that there's no mains or anything, and probably build something, because that's what SCVs are good at. Probe doing pretty much the same, completely unaware that I think that can see him. Nope, I don't know. Oh, it's because it automatically defaults to camera mode. But anyway, enough about my inexperience with using the observer interface. So that zealot's going to be completely denied, and he sees the bunker. However, I think he has... Yes, he's seen the bunker under construction, so he knows that there's it's going to probably be quite hard to get in there, unless he has some form of air support to let him probably put a couple of stalkers down there and shoot uphill, because StarCraft 2 seems to be pretty much the only game where units can't actually look up. It's understandable on the big cliffs, but if you're standing at the bottom of the ramp, I would probably thought that you could see uphill. But hey, perhaps my perspective deceives me. Perhaps that's a further distance than I thought. And HerO taking control of the Zelnaga tower so he can see. Well, no, wrong view. Yeah, so we can see whether anyone's moving out or not. But if we go back into everyone view, we've got HerO making sure that TaeJa can't claim a third, and we have a stalker coming in for just general harassment. But I don't think he'll go any further because of the bunker. Stim coming, and infantry weapons 2, I think. No, infantry weapons 1 for TaeJa. whereas Protoss doesn't have any upgrades. So TaeJa probably going to go for 1-1 given the chance, and he's got a couple of another bunker, so he's going 2 bunkers there and there just to try and hold the fort, because it's one of those positionings where you've got a semi-completed wall off, so they'll have to funnel through the choke there to get anywhere, and that should be pretty easy pickings for the 2 in the bunkers. So now HerO has control over both the Xel'Naga towers, and TaeJa momentarily supply blocked again, which is something that I wouldn't have thought that people would see coming out of TaeJa, but presumably his macro just slipping a tiny bit and deciding to go for the neutral supply depot just so that he can get the wall off there. And I think that's a missile turret, yes. Missile turret coming for TaeJa, just to make sure that he can't get any Phoenix harassing. Well, he can't. That HerO can't get any Phoenix harassing, though I don't think that HerO has a starport yet. Nope, so pretty strange sort of choice. But I suppose it will guard against any observers being used for well, scouting. Go away, fly. Sorry about that. I just have an exceedingly annoying fly buzzing around my head. Oh, he actually salvages those 2 bunkers. Decides to use the minerals better spent elsewhere. TaeJa should be building another supply depot around about now, because he is supply blocked yet again. And there we go, there's one going down somewhere. I don't know where it is yet. Oh, he's put 2 down there and there. Stalker's gonna take over that tower and quickly run away when he realizes that there's an army inbound. We do have a pylon up there, so we can easily warp into the high ground and try and take the back door in. However, supply depot there gives TaeJa vision of this area, so it's probably going to be not that easy to put a proxy pylon in there. But scouting factory again, because why not? That Maud is going to stim up and try and kill off those stalkers. Manages to get one, but dies for the cause. And HerO's going to pretty much have to leg it back to his main to meet up with his buddies, who are going to help him, well, help take over. And TaeJa actually in retreat there, not managing to get much done, apart from kill the 1 stalker. Scouting factory is gonna come in to the main somewhere. I can't actually see its flight path anymore because it's changed, but Marine's gonna try and take over that watchtower again. The watchtower is being very hotly contested at the moment in this map. We do have the observer. It did manage to sneak into the main, seeing the reactor, seeing the starport. Also, probably going to be able to see... No, it can't actually see the armory, which is a tiny bit bad positioning. If it was a couple more well, in-game meters, sort of grid squares, towards this direction, it probably would be able to see that armory. But the armory is not doing anything. He's not even got any upgrades from it. But he is getting 2-1 at the moment and concussive shells, which will be exceedingly useful to get those stalkers. And the scouting factory just gonna casually waltz in because it's a factory. It's gonna get taken out pretty quickly, though it does have quite a large amount of health by those 5 stalkers. So HerO at the moment on at least 5 gates. 5 gates, 2 forges. HerO getting 3-3, or is that 2-2? It annoys me that the colours are different for the different races, because Terran level 2 is blue, whereas Protoss level 2 is green. Protoss level 1 is blue. Protoss level 2 is green, and Protoss level 3 is red, if I remember correctly. Or is it the other way around? It might be the other way around. but it's a tiny bit confusing. And Blink on the way, as well as the robotics lab. No, not robotics lab, robotics bay, so that he can get that extra Colossus range, presumably, and bring out some Colossi to deal with a large army. Those Marauders going to get stimmed to take down that Stalker, and we have a fairly big drop in the natural. Going to try and deny that 2-2, and it is going to deny, what was that, their armor. But those Marines probably going to get taken out and quickly by that. But there's the pickup. And this game is actually about 5 minutes longer than both of the other games. So it should be interesting to see how it plays out, because most of TaeJa's games are extremely short, and that looks like another pilot. Oh no, a photon cannon going down to make sure that he can't come in from that angle again. Because that photon cannon, it's not showing me the range, but it should cover from one border to about there. So it's pretty big range, but a lot of units coming now. He's got the Ghost for TaeJa, he's got the Ghost Academy, and he's got 2-1 by the looks of it. Oh, sorry, 3-2 at the moment going for. And that photon cannon is going to get taken out. But there's the blink in to save it. TaeJa getting, HerO getting level 3 weapons as well as extended range, and he just pumped out a Colossus, which is striding down towards the front of the base to make sure that there is no marine attack. This group of units making sure that there's no attack from this front. So he's got two fronts, well, both fronts covered. Nothing can get in by air from there. Nothing can get in by land from there without going through the Colossus. And he is actually moving out at the moment, with TaeJa still taking the Zelnaga Tower, providing vision over a wide area, which can be very useful. And there we have a air shark, because there is. So some of the units confuse me, well, not the units, but the neutral units confuse me, like the air shark and the robot. Whenever I see it, it's the Automaton 5000, I think it is. Whenever I see it, I always think of the what's it called? The mouse thing from the Death Star in Star Wars. The small black box that scuttles around the corridors. You only see it like twice, but in the Lego Star Wars one, it was one of the best characters to play with, because you could just get anywhere quickly. Can't remember which Lego Star Wars that was, but we've got a third. TaeJa actually supply box after he took out that depot there, and that command center going to go down. However, Liquid HerO's actually going to get supply box unless he builds another pylon, and we've got Zealot legs coming, and number 3 attack, as well as another Colossus. And 3-3 for the Terran, as well as a couple of Vikings to aid in the Colossus killing. So this is going to be a pretty standard mid-game TVP from what I've seen, with Colossi going down, as well as a couple of sentries and quite a few Blank Stalkers. And then you've got the Vikings, Viking Marine Marauder Medevac combination to deny the Stalkers and the Colossi. How many, right, so 31 Marines and 13 Marauders, which is going to pretty much lock down any Stalkers, because Marauders, especially when stimmed, eat Stalkers for breakfast, and especially with concussive shells, they are just eating these Stalkers. I mean, they could probably keep going all day. However, he is going to blink forward, which wasn't really the best move, because that massive death ball was just round the corner, and he basically just blinked himself into a trap. And HerO's not going to have much in the way of defense other than these 5 Zealots and 4 Stalkers. However, he does have a couple more up there, and there will be a warping round here, which is quickly finished off by the looks of it. Oh no, a couple of Zealots going to make it in, but I don't think there's really going to be much more you can do, apart from he does manage to get these Stalkers back in time, so he can actually sandwich the big Terran Death Ball, which is currently tearing up the HerO natural mineral line, and it's 21 workers, 22 workers to 4 killed. So that is a major advantage for TaeJa. And I'm sorry if I got a bit loud, my StarCraft volume was going off the scale. So units killed, it's pretty even at the moment. HerO's actually ahead by a good 10, 11 or 12. No, that's 12. But 25 workers killed to 4. That's really going to hurt HerO's macro. But strangely not all that much. If we look at that, TaeJa a good 500 ahead in minerals and a good 200 ahead in gas. But he's also got a load of money saved up in the bank as well. So it's pretty even at the moment, I'd say. All to play for. And HerO really needs to win this one to stay in the tournament, because at the moment the series is 2-1 to TaeJa. However, TaeJa, if we look at the army supply, 93 to 60. So HerO needs to get more units and fast, and he does. That's another warping round, bringing it even close. Well, not even closer, because TaeJa just brought out another, well, barrack production cycle load, I suppose is the correct term to use. Taking down destructible rocks, because then you can get more units through, and more units equals quicker killing of Protoss. Still have the observer there, and random Protoss probe constructing a pylon down there, presumably in case he needs to construct an emergency nexus. And warps in 4 zealots up at the north. However, this attack going to be denied by the massive well, not massive, but the Protoss Death Ball. Those Colossi just eating up the force-fielded in force-fielded in Marauders, and even the ones that aren't force-fielded in are going to get caught up in the thermal lancing. But the Vikings going to start dealing with these Colossus, and that's 1 Colossus down, 2 Colossus down. Start going for the 3rd. Shields down on that one. And that's the 3rd Colossus pretty much dead. And I think once this Colossus goes and these Immortal go, HerO will know that it's game over. Because I don't think he can really do much against the Marauder Medevac with another Viking and some even more units coming. Even with a couple of production cycles. It's 76, 75 to 26, so TaeJa's going to take it. And with that, he's going to take the game, the set, and the match. So TaeJa moving on through to the semi-finals in a series of short but spectacular games with good play from both Terran and Protoss. And HerO's just last-ditch defense, trying to kill off as many of those as possible, even sending in the probes. But if we go to the units killed, HerO actually has the upper hand, but TaeJa's just had, well, strategy on his side, and he just picked the right build for the right player. So Nexus is going to die, that pylon's going to die, and this is going to be game over for HerO. So a liquid team kill, which is always a shame to see. There was actually a couple of EG team kills in the ASUS ROG. Personally, I don't like seeing team kills, but there's going to be the Marauder drop in the main, and it's going to be over pretty shortly. About 20 seconds left. Sends in the Archons, but nothing much that they can do now. Feedback does go down on the Medivac, and Liquid HerO WWs, which I believe is going to translate to GG. Presumably he's using a Korean keyboard, and the W and G keys are quite close together. So that is the series. 4-game series. TaeJa takes it 3-1 and goes through. HerO sadly out of the competition. So as I've said before, it's always a shame to see a team kill, but they happen. That's the way that tournament draws work. But again, great strategy by TaeJa, and I've been Nian, and I will probably be releasing some more ASUS ROG casts, as well as my Surviving Bronze League series. I'm going to try to release the casts sort of as a bunch, so that you don't just like get game 1 and then about a day later get game 2, then a day later get game 3. I'm just going to try and have them so that you can just get them as soon as, like, get all 4 or 5 or 3 depending on the length of the series, just straight away. But I've been Nian, thank you for watching, and I will see you whenever I next see you.